31-24. Jacksonville in the winner's circle. They win the game. The Saints failing to convert with a chance to tie the game in the final seconds. They turned the ball over on downs at the Jacksonville 6-yard line. And so the Jags improved to 5-2. That's a very good record considering they're a little shaky at the start of the year, but they're 5-2. And New Orleans drops to 3-4. But the better story continues to be in the losing locker room. So that is where we are going to begin. We're going to start in the losing locker room. The question here is, how do you digest Derek Carr's performance on the Thursday night game for the Saints? So I've got goosebumps, backsplash, and underbelly. And we're going to put all of these things together, and we're going to make a whoopie pie. We used to have this guy named Whoopie Pie Blair that called the show, but we haven't talked to him in a while. So we're going to make a whoopie pie. Now, first of all, New Orleans was playing with matches the moment they signed Derek Carr. I know we are flogging a dead horse, but now they're getting the full Monty. Okay, and bless his heart, he's great for sports radio, Derek Carr. He's so bad at his job. It just makes my job easy. Really do thank him for that. I don't know that he understands how easy it is to do a job like this when you have incompetence like that. Carr is a heartbreaker, right? This performance was on brand. He attempted double nickels, 55 passes in this game to get barely over 300 yards, and then at the end ends up gagging on the big bowl of jambalaya and continues to be a volatile stock. And Derek Carr is a 1990s Goosebumps book for New Orleans. Be careful what you wish for, right? You knew what you were getting into in free agency. The fact that nobody else really wanted Derek Carr was a dead giveaway. That is a dead giveaway with the shortage, the supply chain shortage of quarterbacks. There were not people knocking down the door to bring Derek Carr in because he's an open book. In pressure situations, Derek Carr is a klutz. He is an accident waiting to happen. And you think about the different kinds of cars we have, right? You have a luxury car, you have a sporty car, you have the Tesla, the electric kind of car, right? Derek Carr is a beater car, right? He's the car that you just beat up and you kick and you dent and you don't care and that's it. And in the quarterback hierarchy, he's made a lot of money. He's also a laughingstock when you look at big moments there, sucking the joy from the fan experience. Now, there are some quarterback defenders that will say, well, it's not his fault. Foster Moreau had butterfingers. And it is true. Foster Moreau, the tight end, had butterfingers. He dropped a pass. He got behind a couple of Jacksonville defenders on that final drive. But it's the Karma Cafe. And these things always seem to happen to Derek Carr. You know, like certain quarterbacks are just lucky devils and things go their way. And then there's guys like Derek Carr, who's sleprock, and it's just bad crap seems to happen. Now, secondly, are things right now looking up or down for the Saints? They did lose the game. They're 3-4, so are things looking up or down? The easy answer would be down. The answer, though, is not down. It is not up. They are stuck in the middle. And New Orleans, I've seen this team play a lot. They absolutely blew the doors off the Patriots, which isn't saying much. And I got this one right, and from the gambling perspective and all that, we got the TV show that'll be out here later on Friday, Benny versus the Penny. But New Orleans is like backsplash, but not expensive Italian marble backsplash. No way, Jose, right? The Saints, coached by Dennis Allen, are like that stick-on vinyl backsplash. It kind of looks like the real thing, but you just glue it to the wall behind the kitchen wall there. They're a middling team. The defense is average to slightly above average. The offense is clueless. They're a faux contender, and the only reason they're a faux contender is because location. NFC South. It is a banana slug racing a garden snail. You've got the Bucks, the Saints, and for now the Falcons. 3 blind mice who currently are spitting in the wind. One of these teams will go to the playoffs as a division winner. And whoever that is, they will be cannon fodder. They will be cannon fodder for the 49ers, Eagles, and Lions in the postseason. So, needless to say, I'm not very high on the New Orleans football team. Now, final thought. Let's go to the other side of the room. Just a bunch of Jags. How are things looking for Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars? So, I am ambivalent at this point on the Jacksonville football team because I spoke very kindly early in the year. Very, very high conversation. I was giving them flowers on Benny versus the Penny, and they went out and lost to the Houston Texans early in the year. Maybe looked like a total schmuck. And they've got a good record. 5-2 is a good record. But I look at them, and there's something still not right. One of the thingamajigs is not quite right there. They're a work in progress. There are some weak spots, which is the perfect kind of team, right? As you come along for the ride, if you're Doug Peterson, don't coaches love to talk about how, well, we won that game, but we have a lot of work to do. And you look at Doug Peterson there, and he needs to get some Clorox bleach to clean up the oozing goo, which is coming out of parts of the Jacksonville football team. There's a lot there that needs to still be coached up, to be schemed up. The Jags were leading this game 24-9. They should have won this game by 3 touchdowns. And they had New Orleans on the ropes, and as Dennis Green would say, we let them off the hook. We let them off the hook. You want to crown them, crown their asses, but we let them off the hook.
If you want to crown them, then crown their ass.
Yeah.
But they are who we thought they were.
That's right.
And we let them off the hook.
Damn right. And then I heard the voice of Fox Sports Radio alumnus Jim Moore. But, Dennis Green worked here, too, for like 2 days, and then he got a job at ESPN. But Jim Moore worked here, and his greatest rant, we couldn't do diddly poo, right? And you see the soft underbelly of Jacksonville. Miscues galore. They muffed a punt. There was a fumble. That happened back-to-back. They had 11 third down plays. They converted just 2 of them. My computer-like brain says hot diggity dog. That's 18%. Jacksonville's defense also allowed a very vanilla Saints offense to have 25 first downs and over 400 yards of offense. And New Orleans was able to slowly, methodically matriculate the ball down the field for over 36 minutes of game time. So that ain't good either. You look down the line and you look around. Buffalo's got 5 guys dinged up on defense. They've got a malcontent wide receiver, Stephon Diggs. They've got a quarterback, Josh Allen, whose shoulder is starting to bark a little bit. So they've got issues. Kansas City, their wide receivers all look like Lizzo the way they run. So they've got some issues in terms of having afterburners at the wideout position. Cincinnati's Joe Burrow has been historically bad. So the teams that were supposed to run away with everything in the AFC have not exactly separated themselves from the field. And so Jacksonville's in that mix, and they've got their own issues and their own mishigas that they have to work through. But I was just expecting more. This should have been an easier one. You should not have needed Derek Carr to screw things up and Foster Moreau to F up at the end of the game to beat the Saints. I know it's a short week. It was a road game. I get all that. But still. Am I being unreasonable? I don't think I'm being unreasonable. I'm going, no. No, I'm not unreasonable when it comes to that. That's just the proper way to look at these things. I have high standards. Damn it, I have high standards, dadgummit, and that's the way it is. I mean, that's just it. So anyway, let's go into the locker room here, the better story in the losing locker room. Dennis Allen, who somehow got another coaching job after being completely incompetent with the old Oakland Raiders back in the day. Here is the head coach in air quotes of the New Orleans football team pointing out there is a bugaboo with the Saints. What would that be, Coach Allen?
Obviously disappointed with the loss. I do think there were some things that I saw in the game that was good to see. I thought our offense kind of responded there in the second half.
24-9.
I think right now our team is too inconsistent right now.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what's causing us, problems.
All right, Derek Carr. Let's move over to Derek Carr. We'll do the sideways shuffle to Derek Carr. Carr, you're not only a quarterback, you continue to be the epitome of suck late in games. Here is Derek Carr summing up that he needs to add more of the L word to his game. Take a listen.
I've been showing my emotion a little bit too much on my sleeve, like I kind of got to chill out, and that's me holding myself accountable because that's not going to help anything. And so just trying to be a calming influence in those moments, especially when it's been a couple of times it's happened, that heightened frustration, I could do a better job as a leader to calm everybody down.
Oh, see, the L word, leader. That's the L word, leader. All right, here's one more from Derek Carr. Now, he was huffing and puffing. He was going to blow the whole locker room down there at the Superdome. Here is Derek Carr on what led to that fiery moment, actually several fiery moments for the New Orleans football team. Let's go to the audio tape. Take a listen.
I'm not going to tell you, but there were some things
that
happened today that led to some pretty big negative plays that should never happen. And I think that's where my frustration was coming from.
Yeah.